everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and this is my lovely, wonderful, amazing mother, Ingrid Turner from ingridturnertoday.com, and today, Mommy is going to show you guys, this is a real treat for everybody, I'm just saying, because this doesn't happen all the time around the house anymore. The Mom is making homemade pierogies, and I am of German and Ukrainian descent. Mom is of German descent, and we all have our own ways of making them. Now, in Ukrainian, they're called pirozhki, and in German, or is it in Russian? Russian, I guess, it's varenika, right? So that's what we're making. And tonight, there's all different kinds of pierogies that you can make, but tonight we're going to make cottage cheese ones. Those are my very, very favorite ones. You can fill them with fruit, you can fill them with cheddar and potato, you can fill them with whatever the heck you want. Sauerkraut, those are amazing too. But tonight, we're doing my favorite. It's cottage cheese pierogies, and this is from scratch. This is the dough and the filling and everything. So you are really lucky. Let's do it, Mommy.
Okay. First of all, this is 4 cups of flour.
Okay.
To start out.
And you don't have to sift it. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
This is a peasant's dish, right?
A
peasant's dish. It's a dumpling of sorts. It's kind of like the Italian ravioli, except it's just from a different place in the world.
And really, just relax. You can't do much wrong. I mean, it's not precise measurements at any time. So that's just the way I cook. I'll give you approximate measurements, and you'll be able to sort of fix it up your own way. To customize it for yourself.
Now, you guys are really lucky because Mom rarely measures her ingredients.
Yes,
so
I find it a challenge to measure, but anyway.
The simple fact that I made her do it, this is serious.
I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay. I may add to that later.
This is just table salt.
Yes, plain table salt. 2 eggs. No, can you get me that big fork?
Yeah.
I thought I had it out here. I'm just making a well in the middle here. Pouring in 2 eggs.
Okay, so you didn't even need to beat those. It's really that even easier than that.
I'm just going to beat them in there.
Okay.
And I have a full cup of water here. I may add to that as we go along, but for the time being, I'm just going to try to incorporate this into the eggs.
So this is very much like how I make my fresh pasta.
It's very similar.
Except I do it on the counter.
I don't
make a big mess.
Right. I don't put olive oil in here like you would for, you know, Italian dish.
No, I mean just because of the well and the water going in slowly but surely with the eggs. This is very similar to making fresh pasta. Except, yes, Mom said you put olive oil in.
I have a nice big fancy fork that I like to use for everything.
I don't even know how we acquired this fork, but it's like twice the size. The tines are like twice the size of the other ones. I don't know where we got it from, but it's Mom's favorite fork, and she uses it for all of her tools.
Could you just get me another cup of water, please? I'm just stirring this around, trying to do it this way, where I'm putting a lot of liquid in at the beginning so we don't have any big globs of flour. So I'm going to just stop till I get the water to go ahead. Great. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. I guess we'll take an opportunity to thank everybody for all the well wishes for you.
Yes.
All the positivity and encouragement and inspiration, and people have been noticing that we've been kind of MIA lately. We've been dealing with some health issues, and all will be well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you very much for being concerned, and for those of you that have sent emails and inboxes and YouTube messages and things, asking what's going on. That's what's up.
It's just very similar to what went on last summer, so that should be enough.
It'll be all right.
Yes. Okay, this is coming along nicely.
Okay, may I show them this now?
Yeah.
Okay, now this just looks like a big gloppy mess of stuff. It's not even, it's very lumpy. This is exactly what we want. This is what we're looking for. Now let me show. That's what it looks like. It's all clumpy lumpy. Don't be scared.
No, don't be afraid.
So Mom's continuing to add water.
Yes, because I will be adding more flour later when I roll it out.
Right, on the bench flour.
Right. Yeah. So now we're just going to get it to the stage where we can roll it out.
Beautiful. So it needs quite a bit more flour.
Yeah. Right now everything is incorporated pretty well.
Now, on any given day, the amounts of flour and the amounts of liquid can vary greatly due to the atmosphere. Today is a very cold but very wet and rainy day here in Canada. And you just never know what you're gonna come up against in your air. So different recipes can take different amounts. So dealing with an exact measurement like Mom is trying to give you is not really realistic, because every time it's going to be just a little bit different.
Yes. So it's basically what is going to end up being in here will be about 5 cups of flour. Okay. And then what I use for bench flour when we roll it out later.
Right.
But you don't want too much flour or you're just going to have leather. So we don't want that. Or Play-Doh.
Right. That's what you used for paste in kindergarten, flour and water.
Do you know that when my mom used to wallpaper her walls, she used to make her own glue with flour and water?
Really?
Yeah, there was no pre-mixed glue that you could find.
Interesting.
It was always that. And she did a fantastic job.
Really?
Yeah, she did.
It wasn't coming off the walls?
No.
There you go, everybody. That's a natural, an au naturel glue for wallpaper. It worked way back in the day, and it probably will work today. And guess what? It doesn't have chemicals in it. It's not going to be seeping into your air and that your family's breathing, right?
Yeah. But you know what the kids used to like to do?
What?
They go to the corners.
And peel them.
No, and poke little holes in the corners. You could hear it pop.
Why?
Just for fun.
Oh.
Children don't have much to do in that day.
Oh, boy.
And, yeah, that was an entertainment. Oh, okay. She was none too pleased by the time she realized what was going on. The
I'm
boys
sure.
Especially.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well.
Yeah. Okay, I think we've just about reached the point where we can let it rest.
Okay, so this is much more smooth. It's not complete. Can I show it to you?
Yep.
It's not all the way smooth. Mom put a little bit more flour on top. I hope you can see that. It's still a little bit lumpy. Don't be scared.
No, because we're going to need this out later before we roll it out.
Okay, so what happens now? It rests in the refrigerator or rests on the counter?
Just on the counter. I don't refrigerate it because we need to keep it at room temperature.
But it needs to be covered with your towel.
It's covered with a clean towel.
There we go.
And there we are.
All right, next.
Okay.
Okay, which we have now. We're doing the filling.
Yes, this is about a pound of pressed and dry cottage cheese.
Now this is a large
It's not like the cottage cheese you buy in the little plastic tubs.
This is what it looks like, and it comes, we freeze it.
Yes.
We freeze it, but look how hard it is and dry, right? That's what you want.
Yes, otherwise you'll just have mush in those pierogies and it'll all seep out and they'll open up and you won't be a happy person.
I saw on this last package...
The salt.
How much?
About a teaspoon. Maybe a teaspoon and a half.
I'd probably say a teaspoon and a half. Mm-hmm. On this package it said baking cheese, which is interesting. I haven't seen it say that. I've always only seen dry cottage cheese, but it said baking cheese on it.
Really?
Yep.
There's about a teaspoon of pepper, black pepper.
Yep.
And could you get me the cayenne? I'm just going to give it a little shake.
Yes, ma'am.
I love cayenne pepper in this because it gives it a real kick. You can put as much or little in as you like. That's good. Okay.
Do you put nutmeg in yours? No.
No, I don't.
I put nutmeg in my ravioli. That's why I ask you that.
No.
My ricotta.
No. My mother never did it, and that's the way I do it.
And that's the way you're supposed to do it.
1 large egg.
Okay.
That'll help to keep it nice and firm when you're filling the pierogies.
And bind this stuff all together.
Yes, and bind it. Now, you could add anything to this that you like, but
you could put, I guess, probably sauteed mushrooms.
Yes.
You could put caramelized onions in here. You could fry up bacon. Is that what you're going to say?
Bacon bits.
Bacon bits in here. That would be awesome. Right? Yeah. You could even put spinach in there.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
That would be really good.
This has about the texture of ricotta, actually, if I want to compare it to something. Now, I've just mixed that all up. I need for everything to be at room temperature, though, when I'm doing this. You can't just take stuff right out of the fridge and start using it because it just won't work. Now,
she's had her ingredients out on the counter for the last couple hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, so this is the filling. It's made. So what we're waiting for now is that to rest. How long does that rest? Your dough?
The dough? 15 or 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. So
I'm
not too long.
Salt in.
Not too much longer. Now, you don't put any cream in here at all because you want it to be dry.
We put cream on top of it when we're serving it, so there's not not a need for it.
Now, when we make pierogies, what we do is we boil them first. We make them, we boil them first, and then we fry them up if we want to. You don't always have to fry them up if you don't want to.
You don't, but we seem to prefer them fried.
But if you go straight to frying them, they'll just be hard and crunchy like...
Yeah. No, that won't work.
Like hard crackers.
Don't, you know, put the raw dough into the frying pan.
Yep.
It's going to get hard like leather.
All right, so this is what it looks like. It just has this. You could even put parsley in here if you wanted to, whatever you want.
Yeah, you could.
So this is just sitting on the side.
Right.
Okay.
Now, we've got a couple of minutes before we're going to start with the dough. And we'll be right back.
Okay, so Mom is checking the dough at this point, and she felt that it was still a little bit too wet. So she put some more flour in. And what you're looking for is it to kind of pull away, just like how you would do it in a mixer and you're making bread dough and it pulls away from the sides of the bowl with the dough hook. Mom's hand basically is the dough hook, and you want to make sure that that dough is coming off the sides of your bowl relatively easy. If it's not, add a little bit more flour at a time until you get that.
Just a little at a time.
Like
putting a whole lot in.
Like a half a tablespoon.
Yeah.
Maybe a tablespoon at a time. Yep. And you just keep working it. So now I'm going to show it to you. Mom just pulled it off from the sides. I'm going to touch it. You can see it just pulls off easy, right? It's not. It's still sticky inside, but it's pulling off. And we're going to let it sit a little longer?
Yes, a little longer.
Okay, so another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, the dough's going to sit. It's already been sitting for about 10 minutes before this. Now we're going to let it sit for another 10 minutes. We'll be right back. Alrighty. So, the dough has been sitting, and I'm drinking tea. Sorry, let's move it out of the way. And Mom has her pastry sheet down, which we have on backwards because it's falling apart. Send us a bake sheet, Tupperware. And we have the dough ready. So would you just have some bench flour on here? Not too much, because you don't want to like make your dough all hard. The whole point is to have really nice.
I'm just pinching this in about in half.
Just easier to use.
Just easier to deal with.
Gotcha. Okay. So you can see it's still quite wet and it's sticking to me. So just barely make it so it pulls away from that bowl.
Yeah, that's why I spread the flour out on the sheet so that I can just roll it in there.
Yeah.
Because it has to give up some of that extra moisture.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't use all that water in there, though. You're going to have lots of lumps in it. So that's why you're better to add more water and then add the flour later this way.
Now this dough, I must say, I've had lots and lots of pierogies in my life. Lots of them from lots of different places. And my mom's dough, by hands down, is the best. And it's what my grandmother used, but I think yours is, I'm sorry, Grandma. I think yours is better than Grandma's. Either Grandma.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Because it has a nice bite. Has that good, it's toothsome.
Toothsome?
Yes, it has a nice bite as well. And it's not too hard. It's not lumpy. It's nice and smooth, and it covers everything. Like it holds your filling really well, nonetheless.
It does hold the filling well.
Because I think it's still a little bit moist, and this ends stick together better.
I'm just going to roll this out to about just over 1/8 of an inch thick.
Okay. So if you're trying to impress your Ukrainian boyfriend or husband, or Polish boyfriend or husband, or Russian, or anyone that likes pierogies, this is a really great recipe to surprise everybody with, I must say. It is a lot of work, though. It's a food of love, for sure.
It is. It's worth it, though.
It's very worth it.
So good. You see what I'm doing? I just barely sprinkle flour on it just so that I can keep rolling it out and not have it stick to the sheet.
Okay. It is beautiful. Look at how smooth it is.
I know. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way my mother did it.
Yes, ma'am. So how many do you think this is going to make?
Oh, I don't know. I think probably 48, 50.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Now, do you know I need to get some cookie sheets out that you can put them on? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, you can get a couple of sheets out and flour the bottoms so that they won't stick when we put them on there. Now, you have to loosen this off, because if you start cutting it, then they're going to spring back and the things will be too small. You have to
So all I've done is grab the cookie sheet, just put a little bit of flour on the bottom, and I'm spreading it out so that when we make these suckers, we can put them on here to be ready to throw into the water. But we have to prepare them all at the same time, but you don't want them to get stuck to each other or to the bottom.
You can't put them all in at once.
And you don't want them to get stuck to the bottom of your cookie sheet, because boy, you sure will be mad. You did all that work.
Yeah. You need plenty of flour. That's not nearly enough.
Oh no? Okay. We're doing it up. We're doing it big.
Okay, I think maybe a little bit more.
I need more flour.
Don't worry, you know, if you get a little hole, you just patch it up. And if it rolls over on itself, you just roll it back out. It's nothing to get upset or excited about. Just be patient. Don't get excited.
Wow, this dough, I wish I could show it to you much closer even. It's beautiful. It looks a little bit wrinkly, like a person's wrinkled face, I guess. But it's very, very, very smooth, right? Like that's just because you're rolling it out though.
Yeah.
So if it looks like that, don't be afraid.
Give me a little handful of
Okay, sorry, I ran out of flour.
Good. We have another bag.
And I'm not plugging Robin Hood right now.
Today.
Not today. Maybe another day. Okay, so we have 3 cookie sheets ready. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
That'll be fine.
Our water is boiling.
Trying to make sure that there's enough flour underneath that we don't have a whole bunch of sticking going on.
Now's about the time where you want to get your big pot of water ready.
Yes.
To boil it in, and I've already prepared it on the other stove. And it's boiling, so we're ready to go.
It's salted and it has a bay leaf in it. So, the filling is handy, Kim?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Welcome.
I can just move that over so I don't knock it on the floor. Okay, so what I do is take a little bit here. You can make these as big or small as you like. I like them kind of in between. You get it about almost a tablespoon. After you've done it a few times, I mean, you're going to have to practice. After you've done it a few times, you know how far apart to make them and how much to put in.
Now this is extremely similar to when you make ravioli.
Yes, very much so. And you know, all of this can be done with machines, but there's nothing like the handmade stuff.
She's saying that, well, you can't really do this part by hand, or by machine, but you can mix it by machine. Is that what you mean? And you can mix the filling by machine as well.
And then there are these little metal containers you can get, and they have like little cups in. You can put the dough down
and you roll the dough in.
Then you roll it over. But I haven't really found it very effective because everything seems to stick to it.
Not more effective than what I found with this.
Everything seems to
So Mom, what she did was she put the filling about maybe 2 inches from the edge. She left at least 2 inches between them, 2 to 3 inches in some. And then she's folding over the dough so that it's going to make somewhat of a little crescent-shaped dumpling.
Here's my handy dandy dumpling cutter.
I'm gonna show them. This is what it is. It looks like this. This is perfect for pierogies because it does the little crimp on the side that you want that makes it pretty. But you just go like that and it pinches it out and it makes it really easy.
I need flour in here to dunk this. Yes, you have to make sure you flour this every 2 or 3 pierogies that you cut out. And don't worry about the scraps. We'll roll them up and make more dough out of them.
More dough, and then the rest of the scrap gets made into pirozhki.
Yes, that's right.
And that's a whole nother recipe. Maybe we'll have to cover that tonight too, won't we?
It's just cut very nicely.
Now, pirozhki is just the scraps of the pierogi dough that you have been unable to use or make into another dumpling, or you ran out of filling or whatever. And the dough just gets cut into scraps and deep fried, and then powdered sugar on. And that's a really nice dessert that we really like to eat, nice little snack. So Mom is just using about half of this little cutter. She's very slick, isn't she? So you don't want to use the whole thing. You folded it over, so the whole pierogi is going to be in the top half or the bottom half, and she's just pinching it off that way. Now what you're getting are these gorgeous little moon-shaped dumplings, like this. Aren't they? The dogs are excited too. So here, they're just playing. Here we go, and it's all crimped on the edges. Now this is nice, beautiful, packed with cottage cheese. It's gonna be amazing. These are my fave. So basically you've got like 6 of them here. That's the first run through is 6 of them. So you're gonna probably get 6, 12, 24 out of that. You're gonna get 2 dozen out of this.
These little things are available at most specialty kitchen stores.
They might even be available in my store, maybe. So make sure you check my store too, the shop.cookingwithkimberly.com. I'm gonna look for them and see if I can get them available for you.
Get me a sharp knife. That one will do. Sharp knife. Just going to cut this so it's a nice straight edge. And these pieces, we'll roll them back up and roll them out, and we'll have more dough.
Okay, so then we're doing it again.
Same thing.
I love how you hit the end. I would never, I'd be scared to do the end, and you do it anyway, and you always make it work.
Don't be afraid. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, I mean, it does happen.
There you go. This dough is very pliable. It's very elastic.
And it has to be, so don't, if it's not elastic, you either have to add more flour or more water.
Okay. Okay, so what's that?
Every now and then you forget to dunk your cutter in flour.
Right.
Sorry, every time.
All right, so we're gonna finish the rest of this. You're gonna do the same thing with the next batch of dough, and you're gonna fill them up just the same way. We're gonna throw these on the cookie sheet so that we're ready. They're ready, and we'll be back when we're all done. So get your water ready.
Back soon.
Okay, so we have 52 made so far, and I'm still making some more. But Mom's gonna start them. We have the water already boiling, and that's all we're doing. So this is what they look like on the sheets with the flour, and they're ready to go.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So how long do they go in the water for, Mom?
Until they float to the top.
Okay. So
you
that's
know they're cooked.
And that's only a couple minutes.
Oh yeah, it won't take long.
So how long? Like 2 minutes?
Maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Probably 2 or 3 minutes. So she's just dumping them in. Not all of them, not a whole bunch at a time. It looks like maybe 12. 8 to 10, 12. 12. So she did about 12 of them in one batch, and we're gonna wait until they come up. It's just like how ravioli do, right? And then you strain them out, and we're gonna put them in another place right now with some oil on it or some butter until we're ready to fry them all up. Right? Well, we have some dough left, and we've used all of our fillings, so I'm just using a little bit of this rice mixture that I had with oxtail, and we're going to fill them with that. You can use whatever you want to fill it. We could even cut up apples and cinnamon and stuff like that, put that in there. That'd be tasty too. But you can use whatever it is you have or whatever it is you like. So just use the exact same principle, just put a scoopy scoop. So they've come up to the top now. Mom just has a nice casserole dish or baking dish, and she's put some butter in the bottom. She's greased the pan with butter. And I'm gonna show you what these first ones look like. So these are cooked, they just came to the top. And I'm gonna put some more butter on just to let them sit, because we're gonna end up frying these up as well. So you don't want them to stick, and it's just same premise as pasta, where you put olive oil on the pasta to make sure it doesn't stick together as you're waiting for your sauce. So that's it, and we'll see you in a minute when we're done all these, I guess. All right, well, I'm finishing up my last ones of these little rice ones, and we've got 10 of these, and we got about 60 of the cottage cheese ones, and they're really packed tonight. Like, they're really full. We really did went all out. So we're almost done boiling them all, and you'll see us, I guess, when they're all boiled down. Now, these are the ones with the rice inside. Aren't they pretty too? Perfect. Anyhow, I think they're gonna be pretty tasty, and we'll talk about frying them in a little bit. Okay, these pierogies are all done. Here's the one kind and the other kind in that big pot. So what we have here, let me just move this, on a medium-high heat right now, just to heat it up. We have a large frying pan. We've got about a tablespoon of butter, and we're starting to pan fry these. Now, don't worry about crowding them a little bit in the pan. It's not going to be a big deal. You're all good as long as you have enough butter to make sure that they're coated and they're not sticking together, right, Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and caramelize some onions in a separate pan, and you can serve that on top. What do we like to serve on them? Sour cream?
Sour cream, or have cream sauce.
Or a cream sauce, or plain yogurt, like a Balkan-style yogurt. Salt and pepper, the caramelized onions. You can fry up some bacon and crumble it up. You know, all kinds of ideas. I've even had people eat it with salsa and sour cream at my house, and hot sauce, like they're Mexican.
Yeah.
So the sky's the limit, sort of, when it comes to toppings. They're kind of a blank slate if you want them to be, right?
That's right.
But traditionally speaking, you would serve them with a cream sauce, with butter, with caramelized onions and sour cream, right?
That's the best way.
So there you go. So what we're trying to do here is accomplish a slight golden brown color and just a little bit of a crispy texture on the outside. And what you're going to have on the inside is still going to be nice and soft and yummy and gooey with the cottage cheese. They're delicious, by the way. I like eating them just like this without pan frying them. They don't boil. Yeah, they don't make it that far in sometimes in my kitchen. So anyway, we're gonna fry these up, and we'll show them to you on a beautiful platter. And the rest of them that we're not gonna eat this evening are gonna go into the freezer. Now, in order to pack them up, go on and grab yourself some individual resealable plastic bags, freeze bags. You can put them in there, count them out to as many as you would think you'll eat together as a family, or you as yourself, and package them that way, because they do tend to stick together in the freezer and they'll get all stuck. You're not going to be able to defrost them really easily and pull them apart. Don't do that. You're going to have to wait for them to completely defrost and gently pull them apart to make sure that they don't get broken.
Or else you could put them in the freezer in a cookie sheet, and when they're
flour.
nice and frozen, you can take them out and then package them. So
That's actually a better way to do it. We had them on those cookie sheets with the flour. That's perfect. Just if you have room in your freezer and you're able to slit them in or put them in a big deep freeze, put them in there that way. They'll freeze individually, like you know how they do the chicken breasts, like the freeze-dried chicken breasts or whatever. And then you can more easily take them apart. And that's it. So we'll be back in just a hot minute. Okay, so I got one out of the pan. This is what they look like. All beautiful and crispy on the outside. This golden brown color, that's what they should look like. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this plain yogurt on, because that's how I like it. And a little bit more pepper for me. With salt. You gonna want a bit of this?
Sure.
Mom is awesome. Here you go, Mommy. Yeah? There we go. Super hot, huh?
Aren't they good? So flavorful.
That's soul food at its best in our house. This is serious stuff. That's why I wanted to show it to you. It's my favorite. I love the cottage cheese inside. It's the bomb. Put some caramelized onions on that, and you've got some serious business in your kitchen. Anyhow, that's how you make pierogies. Aren't they look beautiful? Let me show. Don't they look gorgeous? All browned up and nice.
Gorgeous is right.
Now, then you go ahead and make up as many as you need, as many as you like. The rest go in the freezer. And that's it. You want to come say bye to everybody?
Yes, sure.
Anyway, that's it. That's how you make cottage cheese pierogies from scratch. I guess the German way.
Yeah.
Right? And this is Ingrid Turner, my mom. Check her out at ingridturnertoday.com.
Try it. You're going to love it.
You are going to love it. And try different fillings as well, because it's really versatile.
Yeah.
The dough is fantastic. And we actually didn't have any dough left for sticky.
A little tiny little piece left.